So it's been a couple medical days here around the fam. Yesterday, I got to spend some time with an oral surgeon, learning about my count them, 5 wisdom teeth that need to come out. So we're doing our series, right? This is the final 5 Yah-Yah, number 5 Yah-Yahs of customer service. Okay, full transparency. I am in the process of just loading in content right now before we start promoting the vlog. So I did a bunch of videos, and then after number 9 vlog, which was number 4 of the 5 Yah-Yahs of customer service, I had, like work to do. So I grew a little beard in them. Yeah, you like that? No, not really? Don't care. So here's the deal. Hey, glad you're here. That I do care about. Thanks for just hanging out with us. Subscribe if you would. Hit that like button, comment. We really appreciate all that. So yesterday, I visited the oral surgeon. I've got these wisdom tooth. I have teeth. Wisdom tooth. There's a hillbilly joke in there. Since I am one, I can make that joke. Anyway, 5 wisdom teeth to get pulled. And so I went for a consultation, all that stuff. Now, what's interesting is though he had x-rays and though he had information, he just didn't come in and say, well, let's start a pulling. No, he had some questions. Now, this morning, my wife and I took our youngest to the pediatrician. And I love our pediatrician, and he does a great job. He had a lot of questions. My father-in-law has been a medical doctor for a number of years, and guess what? If you talk to him, he has a lot of questions. There is a pattern here. All right, here's our final 5th Yah-Yah in customer service. Ask questions before you just start jumping in and serving people. Doctors ask a ton of questions. Can you imagine if the opposite was true? Can you imagine if you went in and you're like, I think it's the flu, and the doc looks, okay, what? We're going to have to amputate. What? What do you mean amputate? You don't have all the information. It's just the flu. So it becomes important for medical field to ask questions before they can serve us. Well, then how much more important is it for us to ask questions of the people that we're trying to serve? How can you meet needs if you don't know what the needs are? That was a coffee break, and no promo because I don't have anything to promote. But how can you meet needs if you don't know what the needs are? So often in customer service, using those clinical terms, but so often, the phone rings, you pick up, people tell you things, ask you questions, and say, what do you do? Well, here's what we can do for you. Well, here's a tactic, okay? One of the great ways to serve people sometimes is you've got to figure out what it is that they need, but maybe you know. So you say, Jared, I know what they need, but I don't know how to tell them what I got to share with them. Well, then ask a question. Just get them talking. Maybe you'll find some more information that will give you the end to give them the solution, or maybe you'll find out information, quite frankly, that you didn't know you even needed. I mean, how many times have we been in conversations and we're like, if you're like me, I'm a mover, you're just plowing through the conversation, you think you've got the solution, only for someone to go, actually, we tried that, and you're like, oh, okay. So we ask questions, number 1, sometimes to stall. Number 2, obviously, to gain information. Do not assume, right? I do this all the time. I'm guilty of it. I assume that I have all the information I need, and then I just go blah, 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 only to find out I don't have all the information I need. Third thing on questions, all right? Here's the deal. We all have heard this idea of, well, a lot of us have heard probably, like the idea of single answers versus open questions, or yes-no questions versus open-ended questions, and all that's great training if you went and had it. Maybe you learned the whole who, what, when, where, how, why, to what extent training. Nothing wrong with that stuff. But there is a way to get people talking without always saying, so let me ask you this, let me ask you this, let me ask you this. Look, you want to be conversational when you're serving people, even if you have one of those dreaded scripts in front of you. So how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of things that we teach. Let me just give you one idea. Just simply, when you're speaking with people and you're trying to get information, just have them talk to you. Just literally say, talk to me about. Guess what they'll do? Even an introvert or a reserved individual will talk to you about whatever it is you ask them to talk to you about. because you've asked them to talk to you about it. Kind of makes sense, right? You're welcome. I almost had a Dr. Seuss moment again. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. But say, hey, just talk to me about the process, or talk to me about what happened when. That's what doctors do. And then here's maybe the next piece on asking questions. You have to actually get quiet and listen. Now, I just gave you a tip. If you're taking a drink while people are talking to you, guess what you can't do? Talk. You're welcome. So those of you in call centers, that's a great time to hydrate. Just a little sip of water. You say, well, talk to me about the process. Talk to me what happened when the power went out. And now they're going to talk. If you're not, here, let me set this cup of coffee down in a safe place where Hyperboy won't spill it. If you are face-to-face, and I'm not kidding, you can just do something like this. Talk to me about whatever it is. Why do that? Well, first off, if it's cold and flu season, a little medical tip, make sure you've sanitized your hands. You're welcome. But anyway, I did that by accident one time. I was talking with someone. I said, oh, well, run me through that. And I was just standing somewhere. And I went to talk, and my hand was here. And it's like I felt my mouth move, and I was like, why are you talking? You shouldn't be talking. That's what was going on up here. Squirrel, you should not be talking. And so I do that from time to time. I'll say, oh, all right, well, why don't you walk me through that? And now I'm literally holding my mouth shut. What a cheap, ridiculous tactic, but it works. So asking questions, that's important. The kinds of questions you ask, of course, important. I gave you one idea of even how to talk, get people talking without actually asking a question. And then we got to shut up and we have to listen. Even at times, watch how this works. Even when people are giving us information and I'm talking to myself as much as you, it's great not to interrupt them, right? I mean, there are times to interrupt actually, but just let them talk. Even if they're going to say something that you've heard 300 times that day in the call center or 200 times across the desk or whatever, just let them talk. Because what you're doing is building relationship. All right, well, this is our final of the 5 Yah-Yahs of customer service. Maybe we'll come back and do a sequel, but you know the problem with sequels? They're usually not as good as the first round. All right, like, subscribe, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next series that I'm literally going to start shooting today because I'm loading content. 5 no-nos in presentation skills. 5 things, I mean, there's a lot of things we shouldn't do in presentations, right? But I'm going, I just did one. Almost did it again, but I'm going to give you 5 things. And then after that, we'll do 5 things to think about or 5 yeses or 5 whatever good things in presentations. 10 more videos, and then we start promoting this little hot mess. I'm out.